Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Dark Evidence, where we explore some of the most intriguing unsolved stories in history. Today, we are talking about one of the most daring and mysterious prison escapes ever, the 1962 Alcatraz escape. 3 men managed to escape from what was considered an impenetrable island fortress, and over 60 years later, the question still remains: did they make it to freedom? Along the way, we'll see how this escape has impacted prison security and led to reforms that are still relevant in today's criminal justice system. So buckle up as we dive into this fascinating tale. So let's start with the location: Alcatraz Island. Alcatraz, or the Rock, was chosen as a federal penitentiary because of its natural defenses. The icy waters of San Francisco Bay surrounded it, and strong tides and currents added an additional layer of protection. Alcatraz was specifically designed to hold the nation's most dangerous and escape-prone criminals, who had proven to be difficult to contain elsewhere. From 1934 to 1963, it housed notorious inmates, including mob boss Al Capone and the infamous bank robber George Machine Gun Kelly. With 24-hour security and regular head counts, Alcatraz was intended to be unbreakable. But in June 1962, 3 inmates, Frank Morris and the brothers Clarence and John Anglin, could attempt to change that. Who were these men? Frank Morris was known as an exceptionally smart and resourceful man, with an IQ reported to be around 133. He had spent most of his life in and out of prison, and was known for his quiet, reserved demeanor and keen mind. The Anglin brothers, on the other hand, were known to be inseparable and had grown up in a family of seasonal farm workers who traveled around the country. Raised with grit and survival instincts, Clarence and John were used to hardship and had an unbreakable bond that could prove instrumental in their escape. So how did these 3 men pull off what so many had failed to accomplish? Their plan began almost a year before they made their escape. First, they had to deal with the thick concrete walls surrounding them. Armed with cafeteria spoons and a stolen electric drill, they began to dig through the wall at the back of their cells. The concrete, due to the island's humidity, was softer than it would have been otherwise, and they took advantage of this. Every night, they would slowly chip away, covering the holes with cardboard and other items to avoid detection during inspections. Imagine the patience this required. It's almost mind-boggling. One of the most ingenious parts of their escape involved the dummy heads, which they created to fool the guards. Using soap, cement powder, toilet paper, and hair collected from the barber shop, they sculpted heads that looked shockingly real. Each night, they would place these dummies in their bed, arranged to look like they were fast asleep. This trick bought them valuable hours each night as they slipped out to continue their work. They weren't just working on their cells, though. These men knew they'd need something to get them across the freezing bay waters. So, they gathered raincoats from the other inmates and stitched them together to make a makeshift raft and life vests. Using a stolen accordion, they designed a way to inflate the raft, transforming these rudimentary tools into their potential ticket to freedom. It's astonishing to think about the resourcefulness involved here, the way they planned and problem-solved every single detail. Finally, on the night of June 11, 1962, they were ready. Under cover of darkness, they crawled out of their cells, climbed through the hole, and maneuvered through a utility corridor up to the roof. From there, they scaled down to the side of the prison and made their way to shore. With their raincoat raft in tow, they vanished into the cold, dark waters of San Francisco Bay. The next morning, guards discovered their empty cells and sounded the alarm. The following search was exhaustive. The FBI, the Coast Guard, and even the local police scoured the bay and surrounding areas. They found a few personal items in the water, which led them to conclude that the men may have drowned. Officially, the case was closed in 1979, and the authorities declared the men most likely dead. But in the years since, a few clues have hinted that maybe, and just maybe, they survived. One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence surfaced in 2013. A photograph allegedly taken in Brazil showing two men believed to be John and Clarence Anglin. The FBI examined the photo, but while the resemblance is striking, it's still inconclusive. Then, in 2018, authorities received a letter reportedly from John Anglin, claiming he was alive and asking for medical treatment. Although the FBI couldn't verify the letter's authenticity, it added another layer to the mystery. This case has captivated the public for decades, partly because it represents a story of resilience and intelligence. These men were isolated, surrounded by freezing water, and locked away in what was considered an unbreakable prison. Yet, they found a way to challenge the system. It is a reminder of the lengths people will go to seek freedom, even at tremendous personal risk. The Alcatraz escape has inspired books, documentaries, and even movies, sparking curiosity and imagination. It makes us question, could they have really made it? But well, now let's bring this mystery to the present day. Escapes from high-security prisons aren't just a thing of the past. In 2015, we saw a breakout from Clinton Correctional Facility in New York. This shocked the nation. Richard Matt and David Sweat escaped from the facility using power tools, cutting through walls, and crawling through the pipes to find freedom. Like in the Alcatraz escape, this case involved a massive manhunt. The fugitives managed to evade capture for 3 weeks, and despite modern surveillance and tracking technology, they managed to escape the prison. The Clinton correctional escape shed light on the vulnerabilities in modern prison security, much like the Alcatraz case did in the 1960s. Despite all of our advances, prisons still face many of the same challenges: human error, manipulation of the staff, and just sheer ingenuity are factors that can be entirely prevented by technology. The Alcatraz escape forced prisons to rethink security, and the Clinton breakout showed us that the need for innovation is ongoing. Today, high-security facilities use state-of-the-art surveillance, motion sensors, thermal cameras, and other sophisticated technology. Guards undergo an extensive training, and there are constant reviews of procedures to prevent manipulation. But, as history shows, even the best security can have its weak points. Escapes like those from Alcatraz and Clinton Correctional Facility reveal that the security is an ever-evolving field. So, where does that leave us with the Alcatraz escape? Did Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers survive? Or did they succumb to the unforgiving waters of the San Francisco Bay? The evidence is inconclusive, and perhaps that's what makes this story so intriguing. It's the mystery, the what if, and that continues to capture our imaginations. And maybe, just maybe, they're out there somewhere, having found the freedom they risked everything for. Thank you for tuning in today's episode of The Dark Evidence. I hope you enjoyed exploring the legend of the Alcatraz escape and its impact on modern prison security. If you have any thoughts or theories about what really happened to these men, I'd love to hear it from you. Be sure to subscribe, share, and join us for the next episode, where we uncover another story from history's unsolved mysteries. Stay curious, stay informed, and always question the shadows. Until next time, I'm Valeria, and this has been The Dark Evidence.